Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Myra from Low Carb Love. Now, most of you know I've lost over 100 pounds. So today I want to talk to you about a mini little weight loss journey that I've been on. And I want to tell you what I did to lose 10 pounds in 1 month. So 10 pounds is actually a lot of weight to lose in 1 month. I know on Instagram and on YouTube and different places like that, you always hear like, oh, I lost 30 pounds in a month or, and hey, good for them. But I want to say like that is not realistic, okay? Losing 2 pounds a week is 1.5 to 2 pounds a week is actually a great number. It is a very healthy weight loss. And so to lose 10 pounds in a month is actually a lot. Don't get me wrong, you have to make a lot of changes in order to even see the scale move like that. And I know a lot of people get super frustrated with weight loss. So I'm gonna tell you what I did. I actually put together a whole meal plan for you. I'm gonna leave it linked in the description below. I have been trying to put this together for years. I finally took the time to really sit down and go into detail about what has worked for me. I personally had gained a little bit of weight over the last few years. You know, I'm in the kitchen all the time. I'm always recipe testing. I also love to travel. So I do with, a combination of travel and cooking and recipe testing and taste tests. And then of course I have a family and I have, my own life, all that combined. I ended up gaining, I would say like a solid a little over 20 pounds. Which I'm super tall, so I feel like it's not something where you're like, oh, like she gained 20 pounds, oh my gosh, but it was definitely pretty noticeable, especially on my clothes. And then of course you have those wonderful haters that always have to bring it up in the comments. So that was mostly on Instagram, but yeah, I started getting to a point where I was like, okay, like I don't want this to become a problem. I don't want to let it go. So I have to kind of like nip it at the butt. And so what I did was I went back to basics. And so as I went back to basics, I was like, okay, I've been talking about putting this meal plan together for years. So now let's do it. So not only was I applying it to my everyday life, as I was doing it, I was literally creating this ebook. So I have it in the description for you. If you guys have questions about it, please come back and comment down below. But the most important thing is eliminating certain foods that are actually just really, not only are they harmful to our bodies, but they cause inflammation, they cause cravings, they cause just a lot of negative side effects. That is super important. And of course, I mentioned all of this in the ebook, so don't think like, yes, I'm gonna talk to you a little bit about it, but in the ebook, it is super detailed. I go into like very specific things that I feel nobody really talks about. And I really just wanted to share what I think is like the way. And it's not because it's my way, it's literally just because it is a clean, healthy, non-restrictive, like it's just, in my personal opinion, I feel like it's just a very balanced way to lose weight. And it's not gonna happen overnight. I'm not gonna lie to you and say like, hey, you're gonna lose 50 pounds in 2 months. Like some people do it, okay? But that's not likely. So I just want you guys to also be very realistic about results and stuff like that. So anyway, going back to basics, you wanna stick to whole foods. Okay, meaning for breakfast, always, stick to things that are like eggs and bacon and avocado, chicken sausage, and like just things that are just whole foods where you're not pulling them out of a package. Even if you have cheese is great. Like I'm not one that's gonna tell you don't eat cheese. As long as you are not having like Pop-Tarts and things that come out of a box, you don't want that. You wanna make sure that you are cooking your food. The only thing I would say is an exception to this is like a protein shake. Just try to find the cleanest protein shake out there. I'll leave the one that I use linked in the description below. I love it, super clean. So ingredients actually make a huge difference. And I think that is one thing that really helped me lose the weight. I ended up losing a little over 10 pounds in 1 month. And it was because I was eating a lot more carbs. So when I went back to basics, I also went low carb. So I mostly cut out the rice, the pasta, the breads. For me personally, the best thing for weight loss, for me to feel my best, for me to feel super energized, I have to cut out the carbs. The only time I have a little bit more carbs, and these are complex carbs, okay? This is like some rice, some potatoes, sweet potatoes, things like that. I usually do that the week before I start my period. it's just a hormonal thing, and I can talk more about it. I know that I've been talking about making that video, so I will if you're interested. But it's the only time where I will allow myself to eat a little bit more carbs when I'm actively trying to lose weight. Again, because it's more for hormonal. If it's just for weight loss, I say cut it out, because your body starts burning your own fat when you cut out the carbs. And it's like a whole thing, and I'm not gonna go into it right now because it will just like make it a super long video. And I also got rid of a lot of snacking. So a lot of like packaged snacks. If I was having snacks, then it would be actual like veggies with a healthy dip, something along those lines. I also tried not to actually snack a lot. I would make sure that I got nice and full for my first meal, where was usually after about noon, because I was incorporating intermittent fasting. So that's another thing I did. Went back to basics, cut out the carbs, did intermittent fasting, which intermittent fasting is actually a great tool to have, because if you break your fast, let's say around noon, and then you eat until about 6 o'clock, you figure from 6 o'clock until the following day when you break your fast again, your body is burning your own fat. That is why intermittent fasting is such a great tool. Now, this is just personal, this is just from personal experience. Of course, that's something that if you're a little concerned about it, mention it to your doctor. I'm not a doctor. I'm just here sharing like my experience with you, things that have worked for me and for, a lot of people out there. If you go online, you'll see how powerful intermittent fasting is. So that's another tool that you can use if you are actively really trying to lose some weight. Another thing that I did was I started being a little more consistent at the gym. Okay, so for about 15 years, I was a crazy gym rat. I'd go to the gym twice a day. I made sure I was on the treadmill. I made sure I was, not the treadmill, the elliptical. I made sure I was on the elliptical, and I burned X amount of calories. And I was just like crazy. Like in my head, I just thought like I had to burn an X amount of calories in order for me to feel satisfied for the day. And so I just kind of burnt out on it for years. And so now I'm back to working out, but my mentality really changed. So another thing that I did was actually change my mentality from like the gym being almost like a punishment to it being for my health. Like the way I look at it now is like, I want to have stronger bones. I want to preserve my muscle mass as long as I can. I also want to look fit. So it's kind of like, it's just very different. My mentality now is so different around the gym, and I actually feel good working out. Whereas before I was like, ugh, like I have to go work out again. Like it was just so annoying to me, and it was just becoming such a negative like feel for me that I was like, no, that is not right. So now I feel really good about working out. Like, I don't know if you feel this when you work out, but it just helps me feel good about myself. And it's not because I look so much better. It's just because I know I'm doing something good for my body. And when I'm there, like even if I walk in feeling like mad, like I walk in there in like a bad mood for whatever reason, like when I walk out of there, I feel good. Like I'm like, all right, like let's like you know what I mean? Like let's take on the day. Now, another thing that I personally didn't do this, but I know it is super helpful to some people, is actually keeping track of what you're eating. For me personally, it's a little triggering to like track my every little bit of food that goes into my mouth. But for some people, it is very helpful, especially if you're someone that needs the structure, that you're like, if I know this is what I'm supposed to eat, I am not eating more than that. That sometimes can like be the differentiating factor between like, not seeing the scale move for the week, or boom, you just had like your best week because you're actually seeing your numbers. You know what I mean? So if you've never tracked, that might be something that you might want to do. But other than that, I feel like meal prepping is always so good. I have so many meal prep videos here on my channel. That is so helpful because a lot of times once you're hungry, if you don't have things prepped, then you're like, oh, I don't even care. I'm so hungry today. Let's just forget about it and go out to eat, or let's just forget about it and I'm just gonna make myself a sandwich or a cup of noodles or a whatever, So I feel like if you are prepared, that is gonna make a big difference. But yeah, I'm so happy because I had already been trying, okay? I had been trying to lose a little bit of weight and it wasn't happening. And I was like, what the heck? But what was going on is like I was still snacking. I was really, really snacking and having desserts and having treats. That was just not working. When I cut that out and I really lowered my carbs. So instead of usually like when someone says like, oh, low carb, it could be anywhere from like 20 to 100 carbs a day. I'm talking about if you really want to see that scale move, I'm talking about 20 or below. For me, I think the best way to track it is just try to stick to whole foods. Try to stick to your protein. So shrimp, chicken, beef, lamb, make salads. And then if you're gonna do salads, don't buy the dressings, make them. I have a ton of recipes on here too. In the ebook, I put some of my absolute favorite, like my Caesar, like the ones that I use all the time, because I really just wanted to give you things that I know you're gonna use, you're gonna be making them every single week, like whether it's a one-pan meal, whether it's an air fryer recipe, whether it's a salad, like those are my go-tos. And that's what I made sure to put into the ebook, because I'm telling you, this ebook was made so that you do not have to go and look elsewhere. You will always know exactly what you have to do to lose weight. Even if you gain weight in the future, you will know you go back to this, you're gonna lose the weight. There is no question about it. Because at the end of the day, you're not having processed junk, you're not gonna be overeating, you're not gonna be over snacking, like you are gonna know exactly what to do. And that to me is the best part of it, of all of this. I know exactly how to lose weight. And I don't have to go ask anyone, because I know the answer, I know exactly what I have to do, and now you will know exactly what you have to do if you ever gain weight. And if you're trying to lose weight, then this is how you do it. So again, this is just my experience. This is just my way. I hope that it is helpful to you. If you guys have questions, please come back to this video, comment down below. I'll be really focused on the comments just so that I could come back and answer questions and things like that. But this is it. This is the basic meal plan that has helped me for over 15 years to not only lose the weight, but also maintain it. So I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. I hope that it was helpful. These are just some of the things that I did to lose the 10 pounds in 1 month. I've actually lost more than that, and I wanna make a video on that so you can kind of just see everything that I've done in the last 6 months. I'm not gonna tell you how much I've lost, but I'm gonna show you some before and afters in that video. Let me know if you guys do wanna see it. It's kind of like a whole little transformation video that I have in mind. But this video, I wanted to make it for you just so that I could kind of explain to you what I've done, why it actually worked, and also let you know that I finally made that ebook for you. So it's down in the description. If you have friends and family that are trying to lose weight, please share this video. Send them a link to my ebook. It should be really, really helpful for them. But thank you so much for being here. I love you, and I'll see you on my next video. Mwah.